Can I just say how fun it is to be back with my favorite anime where, at the end of the day, it's kids beating the living shit out of each other? Because that's really what the plot is to this show, but damn if it isn't fun. At the end of the day, I think a lot of conflict in this show could be resolved by having proper parental figures in their life, authorities in the general towns rather than delinquents being their local authorities. And God knows if we watch season one, if therapy was around, a lot of bullshittery would be avoided. But if that was the case, we wouldn't have the Windbreaker anime as it is, which is essentially gangs versus gangs, who kidnapped who, who's beating up who, and what Plank from Ed, Ed, and Eddie is up to today. And Jesus Christ, like, they came back swinging. Like, the first few minutes, or like the first minute before they kickstart the opening, just showing what the episode was going to build into, the animation was insane. But then watching everyone just kick utter ass. I just love how the show's so unapologetically windbreak. Like, there's the overall long-term plot of this show is pretty much just watching delinquents protect their town, and when people try to mess around, they find out. And we watch a guy who goes from, I'm a solo, I'm the best, learning what it is to cooperate in a team, as then you just one-up themselves with delinquent rival gangs that are worse and worse, as they look like discount Assassin's Creed characters. They pull it off, mind you, but it's just so freaking funny. But like, at the end of the day, it's more of a character-driven show than it is a story-driven show. Like, it's not like, okay, here's the main plot point of, we need to stop someone from dying, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, the story is a guy wants to reach the top, and he has to learn how to work with a team. But the characterization of what they're going for, like, this show knows what it wants to be. It doesn't try to extend past that. And because of it, we just have, like, the coolest fisticuffs show imaginable. And they came back swinging. I mean, I guess I appreciate the discount Takemichi at least did something this episode. Though it was kind of funny that, you know, we're almost building up that him tackling a guy was like this like massive change in his character. But you know what? I still had fun, man. The music was on point. The production was insane. And I mean, given the last big arc we had in season one, which was the big tournament, that shit was pure unfiltered fun. If they can top that with a season two, I mean, Windbreaker is gonna have the fandom collectively say season 3 went. Now, of course, if you want to support my work, see my full thoughts on these episodes, we do got the Patreon, full and cut live reactions over there exclusively. I don't think I did the last 2 episodes on YouTube, but I did watch it over on Patreon just because they were slower, I had less to say. And, you know, depending on how this video does, we'll see if we do it on the channel. I mean, it's not really a show that has as much to talk about as other story-driven shows, but I really like it. I think it's just pure fun, man. And, I mean, while I did forget how we left season 1 off with episode 13, they quickly remind with the flashback, and I'm like, oh, okay. We roll up with the whole squad, right? Like, we have, like, a couple dozen people. And they got 12 people up. Like, we had the numbers at first. And they were confident as hell, and then they just swarm us. I love, too, that I'm not sure if this is why they do it like this, but I'm almost convinced the hierarchy in this gang works, that, like, your general grunt soldiers get the wood, and then maybe a captain gets the metal pipe. One guy had a metal baseball bat. I assume he's more important because of that. It's very funny to me, because, like, at the end of the day, this show literally can be boiled down to kids beating the shit out of each other, and us rooting it on. Like, I was saying it all throughout season 1, like, that many of them just needed therapy. But the fact that, like, the local police force is a bunch of 16-year-old boys with emotional issues, and we're going to protect our own, and making sure people aren't being too mean. It almost reminds me of Pokemon in a way. You know how in Pokemon you go from gym to gym, and you're just trying to be the very best? Like, that's what I feel like we do in this story of Windbreaker. It's like, okay, we beat one gang, we got our gym badge. Now, who's the next one on our list? Oh, they're up to no good? Let's go kick their ass. And we just keep doing that. And it's just fun. It's unfiltered fun, I gotta be honest. But it was insane, though. If you actually pay attention to the fight in this episode, which there was 50 people fighting on screen, I don't know. It was up there in numbers. Obviously, the up-close and personal fights, like the main ones in the focal, looked great. Like, there was like, okay. But even if you focus on, like, the characters way off in the background and they're 3D and they're punching, even that looked good. Like, they oddly gave attention to stuff that most fans, when they're watching this episode, are not going to pay attention to. But if you actually do focus in on all the smaller fights that are literally just filler background details going on in the background, when insert character here throwing punch or getting hit by a pipe is the main focus, it all looked that good. I mean, I'm not saying it would have looked bad if they would have aired season 1 and 2, which really, split core is how they do it anymore. It's really produced as one season. But like, had they released 1 through 24 or 1 through 25, whatever it is in terms of episodes, all in one go, I imagine this still would have looked good, but I bet those smaller details I'm complimenting would have looked a lot worse. And I often see this in the anime community where it's like, oh, we gotta wait for more, they left us off. But it's like, those little details really refine a product and a production so much better than if you just release it back to back. Like, sometimes, yes, releasing it back to back suffers no seemingly quality issues if you have the perfect storm of production. But Windbreaker is a great case of why I think, split core productions and stuff are so important for this industry, and why I feel pretty confident that despite how insane this first episode is, I'm thinking back to season 1 and the fights we got to saw when it was just one-on-one. If they're able to accomplish a 50-person fight and it looks this good, when we get into the more one-on-one or 2v2s or 1v3s, I'm just imagining what we saw in season 1, and it's probably going to look even better because now the team's a little more accustomed to how the style of this production is going to look. I got faith in this one. And honestly, I think Windbreaker has like one of the best soundtracks of the 2020s. 100%. Like, it has like a early 2000s alt rock vibe or an early 2000s hard rock vibe, depending on the song, but they always just have me hyped up for more. This was just a fun return. They beat the living shit out of each other. Characters actually were making moves, and I appreciate that our MC once again got reminded that, bitch, you ain't the MC the way you think you are. You want to go fight the top dog up there, and you can't even protect the little dogs down here. Sit your ass down. And while he doesn't like it, he's listening. And, like, those are what's great about this, where, like, a show like a Tokyo Revengers was more, like, focus on the plot point of, like, protecting so-and-so and getting to here. And in my opinion, a lot of the characters suffered. A show like this, it's like, hey, we know our basic story point isn't the craziest thing, but its characterization of the smaller stories, we put the attention there and then we just beat each other up. And honestly, it works for me. Maybe not everyone likes that type of story. I personally do for this. It's fun as hell, and you bet your ass I'm ready for the next episode. Let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think of the return of Windbreaker? Do you want more videos on this on the channel? Let me know. The demand's there. I'll keep them coming. Otherwise, we're just going to watch them over on Patreon. So let me know. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got the RPG Goes. Leo Packerkin, Doro, Crystal Cat, Ronso, Son of Raven, Jungle, Tiarjin, and we also have Cray Cat Lad 88. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. Y'all have a good one.